Hello! Good morning mga kapanga, mga kabeshi! Kamusta po kayong lahat? I really hope that you're all doing well and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today, pag-uusapan natin ay isa sa mga requested topics, how to become a nurse here in Ireland. And I will share with you my personal experience, how I managed to pass the interview, potential employers for you and your family members, and last but not the least, how to apply using the MyNMBI registration. Before I start, let's have a recap first. Why did I choose Ireland over other countries? Unang-una, no need to study nursing again. Hindi na po kailangan ng bridging program dito at postgraduate course. Pangalawa, no need for any nursing exam except for those who will undergo RCSI aptitude test. Pero, good news para dun sa mga mag-a-adaptation, wala nang written exam pa or kung ano-ano pang exam yan. Pak na pak, kapag napasa mo yan, sure ball, may license ka na. Pangatlo, IELTS, IELTS UKVI, Occupational English Test, Occupational English Test computer-based exam. These are all accepted as a proof of your English language competency. Fourth, you can apply to become an Irish citizen after working here in Ireland for just 5 years. Fifth, with the new amendment of the Critical Skills Work Permit, your spouse and even your long-term partner in the Philippines can work here in Ireland. Next, all of your children, specifically for those who are less than 18 years old, will get an allowance from the government. Bonus part, kapag more than 16 years old na sila, they can start working right away, save their money on their own, and malay nyo, makatulong na rin sa expenses, di ba? And last but not the least, your starting salary will be based on the number of experience that you had, specifically for those na nag-abroad na at gusto na rin lumipat dito sa Ireland. Lahat yan guys, counted. Plus, you will have the privilege to earn the same exact salary as with the senior nurses here in Ireland. And importante talaga, walang discrimination ng passport dito. Hindi porket iba yung nationality mo at hindi ka galing Ireland or non-European citizen ka, guys, minsan mas mataas pa yung starting salary mo kesa dun sa newly qualified na registered nurse. So, sobrang fair and happy. Without further ado, first step, pass the Occupational English Test or IELTS exam. Guys, importante na makuha nyo yung required scores kasi may mga employers na pinaprioritize sila sa interview yung mga tao na nakapasa na sa English Proficiency Exam. Pangalawa, look for potential and licensed employers. Unang-una, kailangan i-check nyo po muna sa POEA website kung active ba talaga yung license and higit sa lahat kung registered ba yung agency na yon. Pangalawa, it is very important to know that the employer will be the one who will pay the agency na nagpa-process ng documents nyo. Guys, kaya nga tayo nag-abroad para kumita ng pera at hindi para maglabas ng pera. Marami naman talaga kasing naging victim noon at huwag na natin hayaan na mangyari yun hanggang ngayon. Papatulfo natin yung mga yan. In short, the applicant or you will not be asked to pay anything in the agency. Tandaan niyo yan, guys. Nung una, nag-DIY lang ako, do-it-yourself application dito sa Ireland. Pero hindi pala talaga kaya kasi kailangan ng agency. Isa sa mga trusted employers ko ay ang mga ito. First, CCM Recruitment Agency. Pangalawa, Abba Agency. Pangatlo, CCM Recruitment. And pang-apat, Cowhig International Agency. Marami pang agency dun guys na credible din and maayos din naman magtrabaho. You can also look to workabroad.ph. Isa din dun ako sa mga tao na naghanap talaga online. And syempre, nandiyan naman si Google para tulungan tayo. I will also add, other recruitment agencies para na rin dun sa mga family members nyo na nandito na sa Ireland, and specifically for those nurses na gustong lumipat ng countryside ng Ireland. And you will find it in the description box below. But before that, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Third step, prepare for your interview. Sa Pilipinas, I am a medical surgical nurse. Pero dito naman sa Ireland, hati yung ward nila, isang medical, isang surgical. And bago ako ma-interview, tinanong nila ako kung gusto ko ba maging medical nurse or surgical nurse. And I chose to be a surgical nurse. At dahil surgical nurse yung pinili ko, sobrang importante guys ng pre-operative checklist. Ang tinanong sa akin that day, what are the two essential parts of a pre-operative checklist? So ang sinabi ko, the patient's name, but not just the name, but also the full name of the patient. Second, the date of birth, not just the bed number, the room number, or the patient identifier in his or her arm. Importante yun guys. Sobrang yun talaga yung plus points during my interview. Second question, please describe your usual routine in the ward. Eto na talaga mga beshi. Kailangan maganda na talaga yung sagot dito kasi kailangan after ng second question, wala nang tanong at abay, ubos ng English natin. So, nagbigay ako ng scenario. Aba, syempre tayo mga Pinoy, hindi naman tayo papatalo sa mga Q&A portion, no? Nagbigay ako ng scenario about three different post-operative patients. That includes the principle of airway, breathing, and circulation. I will start with a patient who had undergone thyroidectomy. So, syempre yung thyroidectomy, ginagawa yun para dun sa mga may nodule, may hyperthyroidism, and may mga goiter. Ang sinunod ko naman doon ay yung pasyente na nag-open heart surgery at lastly, yung nag-mastectomy. So among those three patients, sinabi ko dun sa nag-exam is, sino ba yung pasyente na unang a-attendan ko kapag nagsabay-sabay yun mag-call bell? So, syempre, bago ko ibigay yung best answer, sinabi ko na muna yung pinaka-least na a-attendan ko. Kapag nag-mastectomy ang pasyente, hindi naman urgent complication ang lymphedema or pagsiswell ng affected area kung saan tinanggal yung breast. So, lymphedema may come as an early and late onset, and probably the reason behind why tumatawag yung pasyente na nag-mastectomy, aside from pain, limited yung mobility niya dun sa affected area na yun. So you have to encourage them to exercise and have a diet management as well. Between airway, breathing, and circulation, circulation is the least important part. After natin ibigay yung sagot natin about circulation, ibigay na natin yung best answer. So, syempre, in my opinion, una nating ha-attendan yung pasyente na nag-underwent ng thyroidectomy. Why? Because anytime you have had a patient who have neck surgery, always think about the airway. And if the airway gets compromised, the patient can have difficulty of breathing. And in just a snap, that patient can really die. Dapat kapag tumawag ang pasyente na nag-thyroidectomy, abay punta agad. And syempre, kailangan mo rin dagdagan yan para pak naman talaga ang interview mo. In addition to that, in our hospital, it is actually a must to have a tracheostomy tray beside the table of the patient because the initial 24 hours is very crucial to the patient that any sign of hematoma or hemorrhage would lead to airway obstruction and possibly aspiration of blood. Pak na pak yun guys, sinasabi ko sa inyo. Sobrang after nun, tinanong din sa akin ng assessor, so, why did you not attend to the patient who underwent open heart surgery? I mean, it's also important. It's the heart that keeps the blood flow to every part of the body. So, syempre, meron din naman talaga tayong pak na sagot dyan. Of course, for those patients who underwent open heart surgery or CABG, they are actually hemodynamically stable and neurologically stable before going to the ward. After surgery, initially, they will be in the CCU or ICU. So, hindi naman talaga urgent yung needs nila. And in fact, para sa mga pasyente na nagkaroon ng affected area dito sa chest, ang priority natin dyan ay breathing. And of course, for those patients who had undergone those surgery, you will always prioritize airway before breathing and breathing before circulation. So, syempre, sabihin mo lang dun sa examiner, with this kind of scenario, always tell the patient to use incentive spirometry, especially in the morning, just to help them expand the lungs and prevent atelectasis or in layman's term, lung collapse. Guys, talaga naman po, nung narinig na lang yung mga terms na hemodynamically and neurologically stable, nako, talaga naman sinasabi ko sa inyo guys, sobrang honest feedback po ito. Abay, napainom talaga ng kapati yung mga naging interview, sobrang bilib na bilib sila kasi those terms aren't used very often in the interview. And talaga namang preparation is the key. Talaga naman nung gabi din, aminado din naman ako na nag-prepare din naman ako kahit papaano. Eh, nagbunga din naman yung preparation ko. Kasi after naman nung interview naman yun, sabi nila, they are happy enough to accept me and welcome to Ireland na. Yay! Naalala ko pa noon nung gabi ako bago ma-interview, talaga naman pong nag-prepare ako kasi nag-search pa talaga ako sa Google nung top 10 health issues dito sa Ireland. Kasi what if magbigay sila ng any symptom or any disease na hindi ko kayang ma-describe. So, isa dun sa mga na-search ko. And may mga friends din ako na tinanong about grief, how you will manage as a nurse. Tapos, paano ka magbibigay ng empathy dun sa mga pasyente na merong alcohol withdrawal symptoms, paano yung mga pasyente na i-handle mo kapag nagkaroon ng motor vehicular accident or motorbike accident, and how will you manage parang yung pagkakaroon ng seasonal affective disorder. Kasi nga, dito sa Ireland, di ba, merong four climates and hindi mo talaga makita sa tao kung happy ba siya or sad. So parang kailangan hindi mawawala yung empathy, guys. Ayun, depende na lang talaga dun sa specialty or dun sa place kung saan ka nag-work. May it be theater or operating room or ICU, pwede ring dialysis unit. So, syempre, ang unang tatanungin dyan is kung ano yung usual routine mo and paano ka nag-aalaga ng patient. Guys, sobrang lenient po ng mga Irish staff dito. And of course, dun sa mga tiga-HR, nursing management, ipakita nyo lang talaga na deserving kayo para ma-accept dito sa Ireland. Lahat naman tayo, di ba, deserving dun sa chance na yun. So, don't lose it, but focus instead. Fourth step, visit the official website of NMBI and sign in with the new and upgraded system, MyNMBI.ie. This includes a two-step process. So first is the submission or the recognition of your qualifications, and second would be the registration process. Under the recognition of your qualifications, you have to provide all the personal details, including those necessary details na first language, second language, third language. Here in this part, I will show you that you need to fill it up completely. Second part, the qualification pathway. So the first question is the division where you are applying to. So dito sa division na to, lahat tayo mga overseas nurses, pinipili natin yung general nursing. And may mga nagtatanong din na, ay ma'am, ano po pediatric nurse po ako sa Pilipinas eh. Kahit pediatric nurse ka sa Pilipinas, you still have to choose general nursing kasi it is another course from pediatric nursing here in Ireland. If you want to pursue a pediatric course, dapat dito na yun sa Ireland pagdating na. So, for the meantime, you still have to choose general nursing. Second, are you an EU national? For those overseas nurses, kahit nagtrabaho ka pa sa ibang bansa, tapos bumalik ka ng Pilipinas, umuwi ka, tapos pupunta ka ng Ireland, still, hindi ka pa rin EU national or kahit nanggaling ka na ng ibang European country, ang sasagot pa rin natin dyan is no. Next question, are you a family member of a member state national? No. Have you been granted a refugee or subsidiary protection status? No. Are you a family member of that protection status? No. And makikita nyo din dun sa baba, after nyo masagutan yan lahat, recognition path. So, ang nakalagay dun is proceed to G3 non-directive. So, it means for overseas nurses talaga yun, guys. Kahit nga nag-abroad kayo dati, pasok pa rin tayo since non-European nationality pa tayo. Third step, Submission of requirements. But before that, you have to answer these questions. First, did you attain your qualification in the last 5 years? So for me, no, kasi hindi naman ako graduate for the past 5 years. Pwede din sa mga newly grad, pwede niyo sabihin na yes. Next, have you practiced for 12 months in the last 5 years? Yes. Is your qualification one of the following? Yes. Have you studied an extra course leading to registration as a first level nurse? Yes. And last but not the least, do you hold an unrestricted registration or license? Yes. At kung mapapansin nyo, it also has the same recognition pathway with the previous page, which is G3 non-directive. So, eligible na talaga kayo. And also, after this page, you can already submit and upload your documents online. Yung certified documents like diploma from school, yung from employer, and yung iba pang documents na kailangan. And guys, sobrang major tipid na po yan kasi nung kapanahunan po namin talaga pong kami yung nagbabayad sa mga career like DHL and FedEx. And mind you guys, bawat document yun. So, sobrang gastos talaga and sobrang blessed nyo to have a new MyNMBI system. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Charot! Here are the list of documents that you need to upload online. First is the evidence of your diploma. Of course, it will be coming from the school or university where you graduated. Second, your relevant training. So kahit ano pang training yan like ECG, ACLS, or basic life course, as long as certified yung certificate, pwede na rin yan. Third requirement is your Certificate of Professional Status or CCPS. Guys, in layman's term, this is also the Certificate of Good Standing or your board certificate. And I heard that through PRC in the Philippines, you can already order online for your Certificate of Good Standing and then ipa-deliver nyo na lang sa bahay para iwas COVID, iwas stress. And last, proof of professional experience. Sabi nila, you have to download a form and then ibigay nyo yun sa employer nyo and then after nila fill upan, i-upload nyo ulit sa computer. So, okay na rin talagang 4 documents kayang-kaya. Napansin ko lang din na meron talagang box for other qualifications. So, feeling ko kung meron kang gap dahil sa panganganak o dahil nag-abroad ka or nagkaroon ng financial difficulty in your family na nag-iba ka ng employment, I think pwede mo yun i-explain as long as it will be in line with your certificate sa mga employment history mo. And nakita ko na rin dun sa board certificate, kailangan kompleto siya with your name, license number, issuance date, and then kung saan din in-issue yung first registration mo as a nurse. So yun, abot kaya. Guys, I highly recommend for you to upload all the necessary and certified documents that you have para lang maging proof na maging eligible ka for registration. Kasi importante guys na mas okay yung mas marami kayong na-upload kesa naman yung kulang. And I know that sa NMBI, sobrang dami nilang pinaprocess ngayon and it will take a while for them to reply kung meron kayong clarification. So, mas okay na i-upload nyo na lahat ng necessary documents and para maiwasan na rin yung pag-send nila sa inyo na please send additional documents or please send missing information. Diba? Less hassle. Walang COVID. Nyak! Nyak! After nyo mag-upload ng series of documents dun sa page na yun, makakita kayo ng prompt dun sa dulo na your qualifications have been recognized. And after that, you have to pay 350 euros, which is makikita nyo sa kabilang page. You can either provide your visa, credit card, pero ngayon paperless na and sobrang okay yun guys. Sobrang walang hassle yun na talagang nakakapag-apply na kayo online. So, go, go, go! The second main part is the registration process. So you have to do either adaptation or RCSI aptitude exam. And guys, depende po yun sa qualification and sa employer na ka-tie up nyo. May mga hospital na nag-offer lang ng aptitude exam. May mga hospital din naman na nag-offer lang ng adaptation exam. So guys, depende po talaga. Pero guys, once na matapos yon, pwedeng-pwede na kayo magbayad ng another 145 euros for your registration as a registered general nurse. Hindi na rin masama guys kasi the amount of money that you will shell out here in Ireland is a lot less than the amount of money that you will use to study and work abroad or in other countries. So, okay na rin. And after mo magbayad ng 145 euro for the registration, darating na syempre yung PIN mo or parang yung license number mo sa bahay mo. And yay! Official, licensed, registered general nurse ka na. Yay! Pwede na i-post yan. At syempre, it is something to be proud of kasi hindi naman madali malayo sa pamilya, hindi po madali na maubos ang Ingles araw-araw at hindi po madali na makisalamuha sa mga taong hindi mo naman talaga kilala. Kaya congratulations sa inyong mga newly registered nurses, lalo-lalo na dun sa mga bagong nag-take ng RCSI aptitude exam and pati na rin dun sa mga pupunta dito sa Ireland guys. Advance congratulations na po. Sobrang magagaling ang mga Pinoy dito. Talaga naman, feeling ko hindi magbubuhay ang mga hospital dito kung walang Indian, kung walang Pinoy nurses. Sobrang mataas yung respeto sa atin ng mga tao dito, lalong-lalo na yung mga patients. Sobrang na-appreciate na talaga tayo kasi tayo talaga guys yung compassionate, tayo talaga guys yung may empathy. So, guys, keep going and keep your footsteps alive, guys. Go, go, go lang. Walang mawawala yan. Try lang ng try. Kung ilang beses ka na nag-fail, huwag mo iisipin na mag-fail ka ulit this time kasi si Lord ang bahala sa'yo. Kapit ka lang sa Kanya. At kung marami pa po kayong tanong tungkol sa application nyo, actually mahirap po sa amin mga vloggers. Wow, vloggers! Ang talaga naman na maisa-isa yung content ng MyNMBI kasi unang-una, hindi na po kami applicable dun sa newly parang mag-a-apply pa lang kasi nga meron na kaming PIN. Wow! Siyempre kayo din in the future. So guys, feel free to message us kahit sino sa amin na talaga namang registered nurse na dito para mas matulungan kayo sa anumang pagkukompose ng gap or description in your employment or parang kahit ano pang problema yan guys. Sobrang feel free to contact me. Sobrang masaya po ako na nakakatulong sa inyo. And yun lamang guys. Maraming salamat po sa pagsubaybay ng vlog na ito. I hope na naitulong ako sa inyo at ipopost ko guys soon yung mga employers na pinag-applyan ko din. And kung kailangan nyo rin ng email address ng mga employers na yun, feel free to message me guys. Okay, sobrang tulungan lang tayo. Walang mangyari kung walang tutulong sa inyo. Kaya kailangan nyo guys na matulungan din kahit yan lang. Take care and God bless!